And welcome back to Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from Black Hood, who asked the question, who would win a fight? Frank West from the Dead Rising series versus Yuno Gasai. I might be mispronouncing the last name. From the Future Diary series. Now, I know who both these characters are. I've never watched Future Diary, but I hear it's a messed up show. And from the little that I've seen of it too, she's a messed up character. And I've never actually played a Dead Rising game, but I believe I've done Frank West at least. I keep saying Frank West at least once. Frank's honestly, he was just a normal human. In any terms, granted, he's pretty good at like using melee weapons. He's pretty quick on his feet, pretty smart. But in the series, he got exposed to a zombie virus that gave him the ability to kind of turn into a zombie form, or zombie evos as they're called. And in that form, he's as a man in his 50s, early 50s. He was no special abilities other than a human. But in the zombie form, he had increased dashing and speed. Speed basically enhanced leaping, enhanced howl, which is not a common ability. Again, that is not common. Most of the ability let out a piercing and booming roar strong enough that it can disorient any humans in the nearby vicinity, as well as being able to knock over any zombie in the vicinity, allowing him to knock down crowds of zombies at once. He has an acid spit, an immunity to pain, and self-control. Frank acted as any other zombie and would indiscriminately eating any human he came upon. However, being treated by Black Burn, Frank gained control of his body back and is able to take full advantage of the effects. However, he's unable to eat actual food, only humans and other zombies. The initial loss of his abilities. After gaining control of his body, Frank loses much of the abilities he gained by using reanimating as whatever. Temporarily control of his body and time limit. And now to be fair, he's been cured of this, but that's the Frank we're going to use. Likewise, also, he's good with a gun. He's not like what's the best term? He's not a military man or a marksman as far as I know, but he's still, let's see here. Dead Rising, as far as I know, he was a photographer. Yeah. Frank is a freelance photojournalist who has been quite active in his career in covering several events, including wars. He's also fairly strong, being a wrestler and cliche badass. He has an unusually deep sense of determination to find the next big story. He's still a pretty regular guy when he takes zombie stuff out. Yuno Gasai, the female protagonist of this of the Future Diary series, is a psychotic little 14-year-old, 16-year-old. Now, apparently it's a complicated series, the Future Diary series, because there's like Resurrection, First World, Second World, Third World, like legitimately like dimension stuff. I don't quite get it. All I know is she's like a psychotic little shit. Her diary apparently gives her ability, tells her everything about the main character in intervals of 10 minutes. Well, this means her diary is basically useless by itself, so it doesn't mean anything. She's also skilled in setting up traps, so that could play a factor in this. She is shown to be quite resourceful. For example, she uses a shard of glass as a mirror to check the position of a character during a boomerang attack, and a pair of stones against another character to root him out from copying her from among his copycats. In addition to intelligence and cutting, perhaps her most fearsome ability is their demonstrating proficiency with different types of weaponry. This includes knives, axes, swords, pistols, submachine guns. She's also fairly knowledgeable of poisons and drugs. Although she rarely uses them, she has demonstrated to be quite skilled in infiltration. Despite her childless appearance, she has demonstrated impressive feats of physical strength, seen when she freed herself from two boys her age, pinning her arms down. Another time when she broke free two cult members when a character kissed another character. She kissed them too, or killed them too, despite being severely weakened by excessive amounts of physical activity performed. She also possesses divine powers from winning the first diary game and inherited the throne of God. An example of her power is moving enormous structures with her will alone, such as when she tried to crush a character. So, here's the thing. The only way for a realistic scenario for these two to fight is for Frank to exist in her universe. Furthermore, maybe even being part of this diary game bullcrap. So, if that's the case, then she's basically got divine powers. We just don't know the exact limit. She just tried to crush a character with a with a giant structure. That's all we've seen her try to do with that, as far as I know. But, again, I've never actually watched the series. Maybe she's done more. And if that, I mean, look, if that's the case, she has to win. That's the thing. She has much more power than he does. That being said, she's much more unstable. So if these two met in a fight, is that he probably wouldn't think anything of her, and she'd probably try to kill him automatically. He'd, if he can transform to a zombie, transforms into zombie mode and rushes at her. She uses guns, whatever. It doesn't really hurt him. He then just paralyzes her with a howl and just, and she can't move. He's ready to kill her. Using her powers, she just crushes him with something, and then that's the game. And the game, set, match. The problem here is she has a few really overpowered abilities, given the fact she actually has divine abilities that can do stuff like that. If you took that out of the equation, she would lose every fight. Well, she wouldn't lose every fight. She'd be very inclined to lose. Plus, she also can set traps up, which would be a detriment to him. Granted, his zombie abilities would probably allow him to evade or, muscle through most of those traps, but still, it's a downside for him. So, could Frank win this fight? Sure, he's just got to roar and just fight her, rip her throat out or something like that. Paralyze her and just kill her. That's all he has to do. The question is, can he do that before she just uses her divine powers to wipe him out? I will say that she will probably get the majority, but it's a close match in that sense. It's just a matter of who gets in there first. It's going to be a quick match, too. Plus, again, her ability to preemptively set up some booby traps, that would aid her greatly in her percentage. So I'm going to go 60-40. 60% of the time, I think she's going to win. 40% of the time, I think he's going to win. But who do you think wins? Do you think it's Frank West, or do you think it's, I'm going to pronounce it right one time. Come on. Gasai? So, who do you think wins? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll get to review it at some point. Tomorrow, I'll be back with another Magic video and a review for Hustlers. So keep your eyes up for that. Until then, thanks for watching. See you later, folks.